there's like one main account that's made that each, like, say, presidential ticket has access to, and everybody can like has equal opportunity to post, everybody has the opportunity to reach the majority of students or a mass of students at once. That could be something if we can't find a solution.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Paige. We were talking about that in our exec meeting right before this. I think the two things that kind of are nuanced around that decision, if we were to do that, number one, all tickets would have to be willing to forego their current accounts. And number two, how do we ensure that the same problem then does not happen to that account? Because if that problem happened to that account, well, then quite literally no messages are getting out there. But I think your point is really good. I saw Tong Yu's hand first, then Thomas, and I'll keep scrolling throughout. Yeah, Tong Yu, Thomas. Am I missing anybody? Everyone's got their cats with them.
Oh my God.
All right, Tong Yu, you're up.
So have you guys considered to temporarily suspend the rule in the election about like the mass emailing? If social media doesn't work, I think mass email might gonna be able to be one of the great options to reach out to students for the candidates.
I have not considered that. I don't know if anyone else on the exec team has or any advisors have. That's personally the first time I've thought about that. I mean, I think your idea definitely has validity and definitely has some pros to it. That is why one of the reasons we sent that email yesterday was not only to let people know that two of the accounts and one of the accounts for finance have been having issues, but also we provided them with all of the links to all of the accounts so they could go and follow themselves. I will point out too, I think, the idea of mass emails is definitely appealing to get your platform idea out there. But what we have seen, we have already sent that elections email to every student on campus. And if you go and click on that link to our elections page, it has every candidate's platform on there. It has an FAQ, it has their profiles, their bios. But I think it has definitely some valid points, and I think we'll continue to talk about it moving forward. I saw Thomas's hand and then Thomas's hand. So Thomas, then Tommy.
So since, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's only a few of the campaigns that aren't having their accounts work, and we don't, I think, know why that's happening. Have the campaigns where it's not working considered just making a new Instagram account with like a slightly different username?
So I don't want to speak for anyone in the room. I know that has happened with at least one of the tickets, but I think a concern was it's going to get confusing in terms of followers, engagement, like, hey, we had this one account, now we have a second. And I also think if you do research on kind of like why Instagram blocks people, if it is Instagram, starting from scratch would actually probably make the problem worse because newer accounts are more susceptible to the automatic blocking from Instagram, whereas accounts that already do have some posts and some engagement are less likely to get automatically blocked if that's what's causing it. But yeah, I think that's a great point too. And I think if any campaign wants to do that, they're obviously free to do so. Tommy, you were next.
What were the numbers, or do you have the numbers for the emails you sent out about how many people opened it and how many people like?
In terms of clicks, yeah, I can go pull that up really quick. Let me just split my screen here. In the meantime, if anybody else has anything to say, especially Sophia or Amy, Chris, anyone from exec, if anybody has any questions still, you can still feel free to ask.
A couple quick things. One, while I appreciate the idea of students being able to mass email, I believe that would possibly violate the code of conduct in some way, or not the code. Well, the code references other things, and what it references is the IT users agreement, and it probably violates that. So we would have to look into that more. Second, one of the things that we are trying to do, and I'm going to work with UDIT tomorrow morning to talk about, is to figure out what could be causing the issues on Instagram, because through all of our research, there's one thing that seems most likely. And so seeing if we're able to point it to that and get to the bottom of that before the elections so that we're able to get the issue resolved and make sure that the elections are fair.
Tommy, going back to numbers, the first update email that we sent that had the actual link to the election site, that site was clicked on just under 6,000 times, which is really nice. In the current email, it didn't have, like the email that we sent yesterday, it didn't have the link to the election site to my knowledge. Maybe it did, and I'm just totally blanking. But we had 5,000 people open that email, which is really nice. So I also want to point out that the number of people that have visited that site is probably a lot higher, because I know that some tickets and some campaign accounts have been advertising that link themselves and have been saying, hey, go click on that link themselves. So I don't know if Chris could do any more research into the amount of times that that specific site has been visited in general, but at least from the emails, those are the numbers we're looking at.
I don't think I have analytics put up on that site.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just wondering if it was 5 or 5,000. So thank you.
Any other questions? Because there's Tong Yu. I saw your hand. Olivia, is that your hand? Kelly, is that your hand? No. Okay, Tong Yu. Was that a hand? From you?
Yes. So do we have?
Tong Yu, you're muted.
Tong Yu, you're muted.
There you go. He's unmuted now. And then I saw Natalie's hand next. So
Wait.
Tong Yu?
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So is there a link in our because last time I was trying, it was not working.
Repeat yourself one more time. You're good. We can hear you now. Just one more time. Was there a link to what?
Is there a link from on our official main page to the election page? Because last time I was checking, there was not.
I believe the current link in our SGA bio is to the election site.
I mean, the main page for us, like for the SGA 1850 page.
The 1850 page.
No,
Yeah.
I'll fix it now.
Okay.
Chris is adding it now. Good points on you.
All right.
Kelly, can you double check and make sure that that is the bio in our Instagram account?
Yeah, I'm checking now. I don't think. Hold on.
If so, can you go and add that in? I'd
Yeah,
appreciate it.
it's just the checking in video.
Thanks. Could you also just like, could you also just put a story like, hey, link in bio for the elections email?
I
Or for
did.
the elections
I
website.
deleted it. I did, but I didn't say link in bio. I just put a little mail thing.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Any, Natalie, I saw your hand.
Okay, have we like considered if everyone could just forego the campaign accounts and just use their personal Instagram accounts? Maybe?
Exec was talking about that before as well. And obviously I think that that's novel because it kind of rids itself of the problem of like blocking the ability to post. But I think that student government elections in general are often considered a popularity contest. And what I would hate to see is candidates being judged or one candidate being, put at advantage over another for the current Instagram followers that they have on their personal accounts, how long they've had the accounts. What's nice about the campaign accounts is you all start from zero and you all start at the same time and you all start from an equal playing field. Whereas when you open it up into personal, some people don't use Instagram that much. There's some tickets and candidates running that don't have as big of an online presence as others do. And will that negatively impact elections? So I definitely think, have we considered it? Have we talked about it? Yes. I think we'll continue to talk about it. But I think that I just wanted to voice at least my concern with it initially right off the bat is that I think that very easily people could say, okay, well now this is just a popularity contest.
That's understandable, yeah.
But great idea. All right. Any other hands? Anyone else have any thoughts? Sophia, you have anything to close us out? Chris or Amy? I mean, I think.
Also Paige.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna unmute myself. I have something also.
Perfect. Go for it.
Were any posts made on the main SGA account? Like we could also do, at least for the time being, every ticket gets one post on the official SGA account.
Yeah, I think. Kelly, you want to go for it?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. If you want to.
It's all you.
I think we talked about briefly doing a takeover for a day for each candidate. So that's super similar to what you're saying, just over a 24-hour period. If anyone had any suggestions or wanted to like enhance that idea, but I think I know they'll do a takeover on like the regular UD Instagram or like the main UD Instagram, but I figured why not do two, one on ours, and they're already planned one, I'm assuming, on the UD
That
one.
being said, like while you just now even talking about it, a thought that occurred to me, I think before we would ever, at least in my opinion, and if people on exec or administration or advisors disagree with me, please chime in. But I think before we would ever do a switch to, hey, just use your personal accounts, we would say, hey, send us your stuff. We'll put it on the SGA account. Have your followers follow the SGA account. We'll move forward from there. Because at least then, again, it is that at least somewhat more of a controlled, equal playing field, as long as we ensure that every candidate gets to. But I also think that would come across as very confusing to voters. So, but I think you have a great point there. And I think if it continues, in addition to the takeovers, we should look into what else we can do to use that account as an open space for all the candidates.
Just a couple more things. We are looking at how we can help candidates to provide information on the ballot that is concise enough that students might read it. So the ballot allows for candidates to attach videos, attach a video, attach a document, or attach a quick bio. So I know we did the bios last year, but that's an option. We also, I think we're trying to throw everything on the table so that we can start to take things off the table that don't make sense. So we've talked about just discontinuing social media, personal social media and campaign social media as a way to campaign. And so that's one thing that I really liked hearing about tonight, was the idea of using the SGA social media, because I do think that social media is going to be far more effective than a website, just based on our students' engagement habits. But again, over the next few days, if you have any ideas, it seems every time a candidate is able to access their social media, 2 minutes later, something is happening where their access is taken away again.
I think that's a great point. I think, Kelly, we're going to have a lot of conversations in the near future. I know that our sister school, St. Mary's, has a really good social media model on their their SGA account for marketing elections. They have one post kind of dedicated, at least to the most basic level, to all of the people running for a given position. So they'll say, hey, these are your candidates for president and vice president. And then there's a picture of each of the candidates and just like a little blurb about each, as well as the tags for all the campaigns. And then the next day they do, hey, here's VP of comms, hey, here's VP of finance, and things like that. So I think we have a lot to work with. I also think we haven't been posting that much lately, which is understandable given the circumstances. But I also think, at least just from a marketing standpoint, I know when you go without posting for a decent amount of time, all of your followers will get notified of that first post. So let's make sure that first post is really good and gets a lot of attention. And I think that that'd be a great way to market, especially the presidential and vice presidential tickets. Cool. Any hands in the air? Am I missing anybody? Kat, do you have something? Davies, do you have something? No? All right. Kelly, did you take that picture for our social?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Was I not in the picture? Was I not in the picture?
Here, everyone smile real quick.
How to max part. This is my problem. I can only get one. I can get
I
like.
know, it's sad.
Maybe we'll do a slide here.
Cool. All right, you guys are free to go. I don't.
I just have my ponytail right now.
Can we have a motion to adjourn?
You don't get that.
Always go Flyers.
Can I have Brian and Tyler and the advisors stay for a minute?
Slender baby.
I move to
Keep in
adjourn.
mind, we are still live on YouTube, Kat.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second? I'm sorry,
Second.
Tommy. Do you want to do the honors?
I was gonna say it's not your job to do that, but
It's
yeah,
already
meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have
Bye.
a great day.
Bye.
Chris,
I
do you
will.
need me at all?